Is this trade enough to strike fear into teams like the Warriors and other playoff contenders in the Western Conference?
Absolutely not. I think it's a good trade for New Orleans, no question about it. You do it because you were stuck. But let's remember, the Pelicans franchise is not some juggernaut. They're in a very messy ownership situation about the future of the team. Their GM's been on the hot seat for multiple years. They were sort of desperate to kind of shake this city and this franchise out of a malaise they've been in for a few years now. DeMarcus Cousins certainly does that. He makes for a very intriguing pairing with Anthony Davis. There's lots of talent, especially a lot of offensive talent. I think they're going to work together pretty well because Cousins can space out to the three-point line, and Anthony Davis is, also pretty versatile and able to cover a lot of ground. But still, it's not an ideal matchup. I mean, New Orleans certainly, I think, would have gotten further if they had an all-star point guard now who was on Cousins' level, who could really set up, Anthony Davis and sort of complement him better. I am a little bit worried that this pairing makes more sense for like fantasy basketball owners, or it makes more sense on paper than it will play out in practice, in part because we know, Cousins has a lot of baggage, whether it's the technical fouls, off-putting behavior towards his teammates, the turnovers, and some of the mistakes late in games on the court. You have to look past just his huge stat lines when you're weighing a trade for him. New Orleans decided it was worth it because they've been kind of stuck here for the last 3 or 4 years without a lot of talent around Anthony Davis. I understand that, but I wouldn't call it like an unqualified success, and I don't think they're going to make any sort of real run in the playoffs this year.
All right. Now, with respect to David Robinson and Tim Duncan, who were more of back-to-the-basket big men, in my opinion, during what many would say was a different NBA, New Orleans has put together a tandem, the likes of which we have not seen since the days of Samson and Olajuwon. Exactly how dangerous are these two together?
Well, the exciting part about the pairing to me is actually DeMarcus Cousins' ability to pass the basketball and to set up his teammates. He's actually, fairly skilled with the ball in his hands. And Anthony Davis needs playmaking help on that team. And if it happens to come from the center position, so be it. I think that these guys are capable of getting buckets at any moment. We know about their scoring ability, one-on-one situations, taking guys off the dribble, finishing alley-oops, especially in Anthony Davis's case. But I think the exciting part is you could potentially have some like high-low passing action going on where, Cousins is sort of setting up Anthony Davis and they're able to get him working in space down around the basket. That'll be up to Alvin Gentry to decide. It's going to be a fascinating case study for him with this personnel because he's used to sort of these guard-driven kind of, up-tempo teams, whether it was back with the Suns, with Steve Nash, or during his time as an assistant in Golden State with Steph Curry. This is a whole different look, trying to make it work around two big guys. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out.